542 edition of Invest Data Trading Academy live with Ambrose. And I'll tell you that the global market are the another full trading week for the 2nd of September. Like I said earlier, this is the last week, sorry, this is the beginning of the last month of the 3rd quarter of the year. And this is the 2nd week, and we're seeing that the market in the matured economy are opening in the green. And that is why I tell you that the power of policy it cannot be overemphasized, and at the same time market perception is key. We are seeing that the figures that are coming from different domains are always gearing up investor sentiment in a positive way, and for me, and that is what is expected in any market. And good news for those in this market, and also for those that are also following what we are sharing here to make informed investment decision. This is the only way you can go forward to invest wisely. If you look at what is happening in Asia as we speak now, I see that Asia market has opened in the green as a lot of one. We're seeing that the positive economic data coming from Japan, and also the political turmoil or kind of confusion about the prime minister also have been laid to rest as the prime minister resigned, and this has also put sentiment in that, especially in Japan, as we see that the market in Japan is up, and why that the Asia zone was seeing a positive market right away. And I believe that this is also a pointer of what we are seeing, that the news of rate cut after the labor report that came last week from US showed that yes, it's a pointer that this rate cut at this time will be necessary because to put the economy in order. Seeing a weak labor figure also have kind of prompt, and also the bet for rate cut by many analysts and investors in this market has also increased, and that is what we are seeing that is also driving sentiment not only in Asia, across Europe, and also in the US market. That also have triggered also in the in Africa, knowing that most of these matured economic central bank also be meeting in this month of September to decide their rate direction, and if US are giving a signal of rate cut, that we're likely to see in ECB and that of China and others. But I believe that Europe also might go in that direction, or another hole in England. But I see how this is going to play out. And the sentiment is already changing. It's good for investors to pay attention what is happening in this economy, and that is the only way you can invest wisely, especially as we're entering the last quarter of the year. If those that are following me recently, I would say that the last quarter of the year comes with another sentiment, and that sentiment is because of a seasonality that comes with the quarter. And not only that, being end of the year, where those that say sell in May and come back in October will also be coming back to this market. That is when I mean matured market, where they say sell in May and come back. Now that already this is the 2nd week of September, it gives a light what investors will be doing, especially as few companies in this matured economy are still releasing what their numbers, and that will continue to guide investors what to do. Looking at the macroeconomic data and also the company data that come in this environment, especially in Asia, in Europe, and in US, we have seen that most number has come despite the tariff thing. We are seeing better number in this period with all the fear of tariff and all those stuff. It tells that most companies everywhere in the world are navigating to remain in profit despite all the changing environment or shift in policies across the globe. That tells you that the corporate world are really active, moving with the trend of what, and that is what you traders and investors also be doing. That's why we don't stand one place and watch market. You look at different dimensions, looking at your technical leg, your fundamental leg, sentiment and the psychology of those that are in market, and also applying your common sense, reading some things that also will guide you, in terms of taking a what I call a informed investment decision when it comes to what your buy and your sell. And now that market is presenting opportunity, being you are entering to the last quarter, especially as the Q3 will be coming, at the end of this September, that also give a lot of momentum to the market, even here in Nigeria, other African countries, and also in this matured economy. That means every player in any market should not look away what is happening from the market, and that will also help you to make what informed investment decision. On that note, want to see event that is happening in Europe market. Europe market as is also on the mixed direction, but that of US is also already in green. But I'll tell you why it's in green. We're seeing that because of the bet for the rate cut is there, and also we're seeing also Oracle and others to release the earnings this one to give you a clear direction. We're expecting also more figures, especially inflation figure to come, and this inflation figure will also give a clear direction what is happening in this economy as we speak. And that is why you must pay attention to all this. Looking at also that at the end of OPEC meeting, OPEC also planning also to to increase productivity, to increase the production. What is the implication of that towards to the market sentiment in that market, in that commodity market? When you increase the production at the time that price is also struggling in the commodity market, especially crude oil market, what are you expecting? Are you expecting to see the price coming down as the US president or government society in kind of influencing OPEC that we want to keep oil price low? But for those that are manufacturing companies or those consumer companies will be happy price remaining low. But for those that are producing nations, what is they are going to increase their production? Would that also help them to increase their return or their revenue? Because if we increase production at price is remaining relatively low, that you can also cover up with that price gap. Now let's see how it's going to work going toward the last quarter of the year. But investors should pay attention to what is happening around them and also take informed decision in that direction. That will help you to guide your move in the market, because I tell you, no market remain in the up direction forever or down direction or remain stagnant. No market has to move, and the movement in the market or price of it gives you what an idea what is happening and also where you should also pitch your tent. That's why you must pay attention to your fundamental, your technical, and your psychology, sentiment of people in the market. That's the only way you can stay ahead of this market. Yes, today's topic we are looking at sorry, if I go to today's topic, we're looking at what the market is doing right now. Looking at the African market. African market is still very, very green. You can see most of the market in Africa are in green. Good news for that, because of also the news of rate cut in US and all that. But that's also influencing. And also we're seeing that the market commentators are also comment in Africa continent is not so bad, and that's also supporting Africa. And also you can see that NGS has opened the first trading day of the week on a positive note. We're seeing NGS moving from almost 138,980.02 to almost, as to speak now, 139. You can see that the market has also crossed the 39 mark back again, which is the good news after 138 has formed a strong support level for the market. We're seeing that also market has crossed, I don't know, kind of break out the 139 cyclic line again, reading at 139,472.2. Market is up. Let me put the the basic point of 492.29 basic point, representing 0.36. Let me almost say 0.4. Let's put it that at this point. Good for me. It's a good news for the market, and as we see all this happening, it's a sign that stronger market data is also sending a good signal to the market. Even also, we're seeing potential manager across the economy, global market looking good. We're seeing improving GDP in some quarters in the matured market, which is a good one. Even some missed trend in some few, but I believe that it's a pointer where all these economies are going. But good news that want to look at the market where we also play, which is the NGS. NGS was having a positive market break up at 31 stocks on the gainer chart and just 8 on the loser chart. For me, it's a good one at this point. And also, we're seeing that in this gainers and chart, we'll discuss more of them after we looked at what our topic today, navigating the interim dividend paying banks and also CBN policy meeting. We want to navigate it because it's very, very important at this time. How will you and I take this move to make money? Because it's expected that the banks that are yet to release their interim dividend will do, and what they do, what will be the state of the number? Are we expecting this number to be positive, or we're expecting that also to come with a good interim dividend? As I'm speaking now, I believe that every trader, investor in market are on where should I be? Should I be in the banking sector? Should I be in insurance? Should I be in the consumer goods? I will tell you where you are. Guide yourself with the information and also analyze where the market is going and that sector is also going. Policy is very, very important, and that's why we're looking at navigating this season, especially between now and the end of the month and early October. What investors will be doing, what expected to come out of this meeting. And don't forget that the dividend we're expecting is going to come, because why we are seeing a little delay is that the CBN is also looking at all those banks that have claimed that they've cleared their forbearance cases, and that is why the delay. That's why you don't need to worry. because once they are clear and most of them meet, their claim is also reflecting on their book, they're going to come with a good trade dividend at the end of the day. I will still give you that most of them will still pay higher than what they pay the previous year. All just exercise patient, and that's why I said CBN also is knowing that yes, the market is also expecting this result before they start releasing their third quarter, which I know that it's management account. They have to release their audit account that will come with a trade dividend, and for that, let's just exercise patient. But what you need to do, those companies that you know that are paying and their price are pulling back, what does it tell you? What are the moves you are making? You need to ensure that you need to also look the way of those banks and see the time to kill. Those that are forming a strong support level at their level, look at their support level and the resistance level. It give you, what we call a value, a value area. In that value area, what will come that will break out, and also if it come, what number expecting, what is the forecast for the price we expect to see if there's a result come and meet expectation, and especially when it comes with what reward. I tell you, reward is very, very key in a market like this. That dot is correcting, and also we are seeing the market trying to now have a strong support level above what above 130,000 support line. For me, it's a good one for our market. We don't need to panic, but I tell you that this banking result will come, and when they come, they're likely to beat market expectation. That means those that are keen to the banking stocks, you don't need to panic. But also don't forget that that is the sector that I say that they are most liquid anywhere I am. That this bank set of stocks, anytime you want to buy and sell, they are available buyer and available seller. And as we expect to see more positive numbers, that will also put their price up. Now, also this trend we are seeing already, we are seeing that there's a what we call a bullish engulfing from what we saw on Thursday and Wednesday. You can see that this is the Thursday candle and this is what the Thursday candle. You can see that this is bigger than this. That's an engulfing, and today was also seeing an uptrend. How far to go to break out, follow the 140. Once you come 140 is off, we now know that the journey is also going up, and the next target will be once it's able to break also 142. We still also think that market, these are the things we should watch as investors at this particular time. But I'll tell you this result and also what will be the outcome of what MPC meeting come next week, around 2022, they will within that period, this month, they'll be meeting. But one thing that these are going to shape the market, and that's why you must pay attention, because I believe that the next policy meeting is around the corner, and because it's around the corner, it will shape, it's a big shape that will also give the market direction, and this is not what I believe that is unusual. And already there's a signal from the CBN governor that they are more likely to cut rates so that there will be cheaper fund to drive the economy. If that comes, you can see that we expect to see a market, this market looking more green and going higher. This morning, I can see that we are seeing a turnaround with what we saw the previous week, but seeing extending what we saw also on Thursday, the last day of the week. Good news that the outcome of MPC meeting will shape a lot of things. But for me, it is well that as all eyes on this policy meeting and rate cut is expected or no, or the limit can change again. But I tell you, both traders and investors should keep their eyes on the outcome of this meeting, knowing that yes, inflation is still declining, and all eyes are still that inflation figure come this month, any moment from next week or today is already 8. But from 15th of September, we expect to see the month of August inflation data or report. They will call it the consumer price index. That also open eye to us to know exactly. Already we have seen that the purchasing manager index for the month of August we saw a little expansion from 54 basic point to almost 52, 54.2. For me, it's a good one above 50, so that the economic activity is expanding. And if you want to oil that, what kind of boost that economic activities, cost of fund relatively come down, so that we'll see more money in the equation, and that also boost stronger investment and also liquidity in the system. We want to see this happening, and that's why we must pay attention, even as we look forward to see what August inflation figure, which I believe that also will have a way of influencing our market. Even already you can see how the expectation of Fed cut is also influencing the global market right now. That is that the power of what policy direction, especially when it comes to money, because this is what gives you direction in every 2 months where economy is going. And you can see that in the economy from this the first APC meeting this year till the last one that was held, data remain unchanged, and this will also be the last, the second to the last, because after this September APC policy meeting, the next one will come in November. What will happen here is very, very important. Even though there's rate cut this time, investors in the market are sure that if there's rate cut in November to usher in a kind of a rate deduction or cut for 2026, to drive the economy. That also be record development. That means all eyes are what will be the outcome of APC meeting come this month for this meeting. That also what to depend. But I believe that we're not expecting nothing less than 25 basic points. Cut. That means 20% cut, 25 basic percent cut. But nobody is looking for 50 at this time. That 25 will be enough to usher in. Once they're going to change, the whole market. That's where you see, how investors, investors and traders will move the way of the equity market. Already, I have seen that sign this morning when the market opened that there this kind of a hint from the CBN governor have already shown funds are going back towards the equity space. Even we saw volume the last week it was about almost above 1 billion volume. You can see it here. But today we're seeing a volume almost getting almost for 500 and something volume right now. But those afternoon, midday, where to see what will happen at the end of the day is very, very important. But in all this, whether they increase rate or not, I think it's time that investors should pay attention to this period. This period is very, very important, and that's why we're discussing on this one. This period is very, very important. This is where the MPC committee will say or do, but all in that as market will keep moving up and down, you must pay attention to this word, this ninth month of the year, because it's going to take a lot of things. But at this time now, what we're expecting to see that to navigate the MPC decision, trader one, that every trader here need to know about what about MPC. Every that's why all your eyes are there. What will the MPC meeting? What will be announcing? Is it a court or no or a hold? All this is going to form our activities between now and that meeting, or even on what after the meeting. For the practical way, to present this week, the week of MPC, and this week we're trading. How we're going to approach market? Is it the time to start buying backing stock? Yes, I tell you that I'm not afraid of any call. The call to further boost backing activities, because if for now the rate is high, banks are still making money. When the call trade, there will be kind of a widened increase of what that will come for loan for loan, and that also will create more money there. Now that they are sitting on a, almost five almost a 700 billion as a new capital, that the CBN are asking, which most of them have met and surpassed. For me, it's a good news for the market and the economy. There's no cause for alarm. But we must understand that there is a role that MPC play in your trading. That role is what you should pay attention to. I believe you believe it or not. I tell you that MPC meeting has come to stay in any economy, especially in Nigeria here, where they are the one that give short-term direction. Apart from the physical authority, I tell you, the people that drive the economy or run the economy is the monetary policy, and you must pay attention to where they are going. And that system is what every investor or trader should have at the back of their mind. On interval, at this rate come, it tells you where fund is. I call it circular flow of fund. For that is why the role of MPC, or it's very, very important in any economy. Understanding it is a good factor to consider when you are in this market. That means interest rates are very, very center of what we are doing as a trader or investor in this market, and we will not look away from it. I myself, I will tell you that as we are trading, MPC meeting is common every come interval every 2 months, and this I think that that it will come because it's seasonal. You always plan for it, how to navigate around it. You have to position how not to position. If you understand that, that means rate control set in the hand of CBN and MPC meeting or committee. You must pay attention to it, because that also direct flow of fund, and also cost of fund is very, very important. Anywhere, both for short term and long term, what are the things that will influence the committee or the CBN to cut rate or to increase it is also very, very important. And that's why we must not look away from other macroeconomic data that were mentioned earlier, the portfolio manager, the inflation, the GDP. All these are key that will determine what will be doing in their meeting. And what will mean interest rate? Just as simple as what the cost of money, that is interest rate. And because the cost of money, you must pay attention to it, because it will give you real value of what you are doing, because it's very, very important. And you say, what is money? You need to understand what is money. Money is a store of what? A store of value. I know that everything we understand it in our basic economics, but how will you interpret it in your trading? It's more matter. Not have it in your head, but how does it influence your investment decision? These are the things you must know. Technically, The money is what we know about currency. I would say there's money flow in the market, there's liquidity in the market. What would drive that liquidity is the outcome of what the meeting. Is the rate cut? Is the rate hike? Don't forget that anywhere in the world, when there's rate cut, you see what the small, but when there's rate hike, that means it is this rate that correct that control or kind of move liquidity around. Circular flow of funds, you must pay attention to it. That's why I said today, as we navigate this banking into dividend, and we must pay attention where we are going so that we will know exactly what we are looking at. And for me, because we expect to see either rate cut or not unchanged, but more probably that because of the economy and towards the end of the year, if there's possibility of cut this meeting, that will be very nice to be a record development. Because anywhere in the world, you need to understand that your currency, your direction of your rate will also give you an edge to what to attract investment, also to boost that economy. That's why the value shift you see a lot of what currency. That is why exchange rate also is very, very important. In all this part of the world where we depend more of what on foreign things. But I tell you, in other client, we are considering factors that drive their macroeconomic. If you don't look at the exchange rate, it's because Nigeria we look at it because part of what we do is more for import. Now if you look at it, if you go to US today, when you are analyzing the economy, exchange rate is listing you analyze what inflation, look at their purchasing manager index, what is also the GDP. These are what they look at. Productivity. That's what they look at. But because of financial, and also when we have a low interest rate, will it trigger inflation? Will it also expand? But I tell you, if we have low interest rate or low cost of fund, that will boost the economy. Also, our economy is running. It's going to oil everything. People consumption will increase. Everything around the economy will increase. That's why I think that the policy makers and also are looking at it to see what next will they be doing, and that is why we must pay attention that when there's rate cut, you expect to see fund entering the market, because I tell you the value shift between based on demand and supply for what for it, and that will also help us to know exactly what is happening in the medium on the long run for this value of our naira, whether it's going to continue up or down, and exchange rate will be sustained or will come out at the end of the day. But I believe that once there's a rate cut, there's going to be a lot of move across the economy, the market forward for a stronger economy and growth that everybody is yearning for, both the government and we also the analysts and market players also are looking forward. Because I tell that will kind of fuel the economy if we have a cheaper fund, and on the long run, it will be better for what both the government and they can also government also paying too much to service debt, also reduce the cost of serving because of the rate cut. But when rate remain high, government also have to pay from their nose. These are the things we should know, that rate cut is very, very important, or rate management or policy meeting. They are all very, very important to your investment. But these are also fundamentals or kind of foundation you need to know about the market and how it moves, and also how it affects the market will play. Once we have it at the back of our mind, I will tell you we're going to navigate all through this period. And that is why we must also pay attention to what is happening in your market anytime, any day. Yes, on this note, I will say thank you. Let's quickly go to what is happening in the market right now. Those stocks that are really impacting the market positively, since we understand that we are in the market to make money, you must understand what is a pleasant price or not, and that also give you an edge to know exactly what to do. And because of the hint we are seeing to the casino that change the market, what will you investor be doing right now? Which sector will you be impacted that you be positioning? I'll tell you that all is going to impact majorly on what on our major sectors. The consumer goods, also going to impact the banking stock, going to impact other sectors. The aviation service will know that this is their season. Expect to see a better number, especially if you are doing rate cut to enter the last quarter of the year. I will tell you this is going to be a great boost forward for the market. And if you look at the top gainers right now, for us to look at our charts, let me quickly call other indicators because our time is fast spent. Quickly look at them to see where the market is now. Let's go straight to what we use in this class. Don't forget our money flow. You need to look at where is money flow going right now. Is it the right time? What is it doing? What was at Friday? What last week? What was it doing? Yes, looking at the chart here now, you can see that the market, was seeing a sign. Once the market crossed the T line, then that strength has come back. As we speak now, because market is below the T line, it's a weak market. Yes, the 2 days, green was seeing good, but until cross this T line up, that's why I say yes, there's strength in the market. But good news that money flow that closed at almost 28 on Thursday has extended to almost 35, but almost 36. Once it cross 50, that's also be a good news Also, if you look at your histogram here, you see that it's kind of ascending gradually. Look up on this point. Once also cross this signal line, and this is a daily chart, will also give you more insight as we speak. Yes, if you look at the top gainers right now, I can tell you that PZ is also, the demand is high, 10% up. I think I'm almost 35 naira, basically followed by Wati Dangote Sugar also rallying 9%, almost 60 naira as we speak now. Strength NASCOM also across, almost 800 around Wati 97, which is also good. Capital also in that. You can see NACO also back almost 105. For me, it's a good news for us. And also, these are the things we should watch anytime in the market. That as we see this market in this direction, don't panic or rather buy into value. For those that also in the class last chart today, this is what I was sharing, that time for you to buy into value. See the rebound, and most of these stocks were already in. Then I say, no need of you to panic about buying. Hold the stock, and when you see correction in the market, you don't panic to sell in panic. Rather, you also buy into value on the pricing stock. We are seeing how the market is going now. And if you look at on the flip side, we are seeing that there's also profit taking in Enama where now as we speak now, academic press. We are not surprised this stock profit taking is part of the market. Also, we are seeing that internal is also on the loser side. We are seeing Honeywell profit taking after a rally last week also, especially on Thursday. Also, we are seeing other components that champion bureau in that. But for me, the sentiment in the market at this hour is also positive and also green light we are seeing. And let's see until on the end of the day. But I'll tell you that it's a good move for the fourth trading day of the week, and that tells you that there's potential for the market, especially as CBN governor have hinted the possibility of rate cut to provide liquidity. Let's see how far it will go at the end of the MPC meeting, come what also come this month, and also the outcome of the banks outing as we look forward to see those entry dividend paying, especially the first year bank that paid entry dividend and other tiers that also in that category, especially Stanbic and Newell and Fidelity. We know of that of GTB, Access Bank, and Zenith Bank. Let's see how it goes. And because of our time, you can see that let's look at the strength that is still there for other stuff. But let's quickly check this market on other time frame. Let me see before I jump to other stuff. Let's look at the market on a 1 hour. On a 1 hour chart, you can see that's a short one. You can see that market across the steel line. I mean, the market strength is the market. Money flow is almost 80 and above. These are goodness side. For me, it's a good one. I'll quickly check our 4 hour chart. Is very, very important for me. Let's quickly check our 4 hour chart. What is it doing? That 4 hour chart will also give us a kind of a light or not to know what is also happening in the market. That's why it's good to know. Okay, 4 hours is just delayed to come up. Let's look at 2 hours to see if it also come. Like the site we're using is slow. Can see it now. Okay, let's go for those stocks I wanted to look at first. Let's look at PZ. PZ is what we're looking exactly here. What is happening in PZ? What is the strength in PZ now? Is very, very important that we know that. On a 2 hour chart, PZ is already above the T line. You can see it here. And T line is just 8 days moving on at exponential. Yeah, sorry, I can see that it's 9 here. But let me quickly change it to 8 so that you understand the importance of this. It helps you to see. Already you can see it on the 2 hour chart. You can see the money flow across 50. Look at what MACD is showing you. On the 2 hour chart, this is a suggestion that there is potential for this stock to go up. And once it cross 37, which is here, it's already at this point. Once that will also, then we now we start getting to cross all of 32, 33. That will give the stock a new move again. But I see a good start, from the chart I'm seeing. And also that is for 2 hours. For 1 hour, the same pattern, we're seeing already on 1 hour. But like I'll quickly look at that for hours because it is a time frame I always want to look at for many things. Yes, for 4 hours, can see also I've seen a good move for the stock, almost 50. For me, it's a good one for PZ. Let's also quickly look at NACO in this regard. What are we saying in that NACO also? Because our time is fragment, this is also almost 12:30, which are very important. NACO was seen on 4 hours chart. You can see that it has gone up to almost, you can see it here. But let's wait and see. But money flow is looking down on NACO, but that stock is still strong. But on the chart now, we're seeing sign of little weakness. But let's really go to, you can see it has gone up this morning. This 1 hour chart, you can see it, for a couple of good one. Money flow is entry, but looking up around 32. But let's keep our finger crossed. But good thing that is above the T line. Even not coming down this morning, it's sitting above the T line on the 1 hour chart. If you look at the day chart for the stock before quality, you has gone up this morning. You can see it here, this candlestick here. But I tell you, this candlestick formation here say that I'm waiting to see indecision. Here you can see go up and down. Have not closed that. Let's wait and see what's the money flow is telling us that the stocks are really at over sold region, and can see what MACD is doing here. Once the blue and cross is also a sign of what an uptrend on a daily chart. Let's keep our cross and also see you on our network. For that, I will announce that a Q3 masterclass, Q4 masterclass, sorry, has opened, and you have between now and the 21st of, uh, September to enjoy the 25% discount for members of Buy and Sell Signal. Instead of 100,000, you'll be paying 75. For non-members, instead of 100,000, you'll be paying 95. You have 5% discount for non-member, and now everything will close on the 21st of September, and the event is coming up on the 27th of September to usher us to the last quarter. So you can position without saying the number. You know, you have to one thing that you can mark your date, the date, and your itinerary to fix that day to make that day free, because it's a 9-hour class from 9 o'clock to almost 4:30 for that day. All the experts in the market that will be there. Most of them will be sharing their strategy and also what to look at, and also where the market, also look at the topic, the theme of that stuff. Historic move in Q4 and beyond. Already see that before now, and that is why you need to be in that class to position to enjoy the kind of rally we have seen so far. And we're going to see another move in the last quarter of the year and also be part of it, so that you can join that rally on time before the market move. We look forward to see you on that day for the training. On this note, I will say thank you. See you on Wednesday, hopefully by God grace. Bye.